If you're looking for an easy and free AI art generator, then this might be just for you. This is called Artimator. I'll put a link to it in the video description below. Now there's a paid service, but I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. So if you click on any of these services here, photo to sketch, redraw and realistic, and so on, these all cost money. I'm going to click on Barbie style, for example. We can see there's 10 credits needed, and I get 10 credits when I first sign in, but any more credits costs money. So I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. What I'm going to be doing instead is going here to the images generation, and this is free. This is completely free. So I'm going to be using the stable diffusion model, which is free, and you can see here now it says 0 credits, and I simply type into the prompt what I would like to have happen. So here I've got cat sitting in the window during a rainstorm, and then I've got my style over here. I'm going to click on this little girl, this anime, and I can see there's a bunch of different styles now that pop up. Make sure to scroll down. You can use your mouse wheel to scroll down, and you'll see a bunch of different options here. So I'm going to click cartoon 3D here, for example, and I'm just going to make sure my 0 is next to my credits, which is good, and now I'll click generate. Now this is free to use for stable diffusion. Again, if I click on any of these other options, you're going to see it come up with little credits. So make sure you're on the stable diffusion model, and then make sure you pick your style. And we can see here, there's a bit of a delay in running. It takes about 30 seconds for it to go into the queue. So it could take up to another 30 seconds after that. And here we can see a very basic picture of a cat sitting in a window during a rainstorm. Now your mileage may vary wildly depending on the style that you do. For example, steampunk may come back with a completely different style. So as you can see here, this steampunk is just garbage in terms of my prompt. So I'm not in any way suggesting this is some high-end easy fix that rivals something like a Leonardo AI or a Night Cafe, but there is some pretty cool filters here, like for example, the Impressionism one. And this comes back with a pretty nice painting design, which I actually really like this Impressionism filter. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you like the image, you can click the thumbs up button. And if you don't like the result, you can click the thumbs down button. And that helps the AI learn over time. So I'm going to click the thumbs up button here. I'm happy with the way this looks. Now, if you're not sure if you want to save this or not, and you keep running this again and again, not a big deal. There's a gallery button right here at the top right. And when I click on it, you'll see there's all these different artworks that pop up. This is everything that I've run under this account so far. So if you like what you've got here, for example, if I want to grab kitty cat here, there's an option to download, and it's 5 coins. But what you can also do is just right click and just open it in a new tab. And that gets you the image here, and then you can just right click and save the image as. You can also just right click right from the image too on the main screen, just save image as. It might look slightly different depending on the browser that you're using. I did want to point out there is an advanced mode here, not to get too complicated, but when you open up the advanced mode, the aspect ratio is something that you may want to change. So for example, you could change it to landscape 4:3 or widescreen 16:9. There's also a negative prompt here, so that means you could put in some text telling the computer what you don't want to come up on the screen. So that's kind of cool. So as you can see here, this is now widescreen. This is 16:9 is the ratio, and that can be a nice feature if you're using this for a banner, for example, or some social media post. So the big advantages here for Artimator is that there's no limits on the number of images you can create. It is free if you use the stable diffusion model. I think it's pretty easy and intuitive platform to use. So if you're a beginner, this is a nice option. There's not too many variables to freak you out if you're new to AI. There's lots of AI styles here. That's a really nice feature as well. The biggest downside is that these images are not high resolution. They're 512 by 512, so they're suitable for website use, or if you're doing a small project. I would not recommend them for print on demand or high-end digital downloads, but of course you could run these images through an upscaler, and I have an upscaler in this video right here. You can check it out, and it's free.